Good morning students. Once again welcome to the Java session. So the next chapter is Java language fundamentals. The previous chapter we already discussed in the previous session, that is overview of Java language. So there what we covered, we will recall once again. So, there we covered types of Java program, then phases of Java program development, then I given some three basic Java programs, and another one, fourth one is structure of Java program. So that's it, the second chapter, that is overview of Java language. Next, third chapter, Java language fundamentals. So here we are going to learn some fundamentals of Java language, that means tokens and also data types and variables, how to declare, use variables, all those things we are going to use in the third chapter. First, Java tokens. So first, what is token? Tokens are the basic building blocks of Java language. So we are going to use these set of tokens to build the program. So the program we are going to build, we are going to develop by using some set of tokens. These tokens are going to divide, it contains some set of characters. These characters are divided in the particular order, that is called symbols. Those symbols are called tokens. Understood? What is Java token? Tokens are the basic building blocks of Java language. These tokens are set of characters that are divided in the form of symbols, that are going to use in the form of symbols called tokens. There are different set of tokens we are going to use in Java language. What are the types of tokens? Then types of tokens. So identifiers, keywords, then literals, separators, operators, then comments. These are the types of Java tokens. All these tokens are going to use in the Java programs. These tokens are divided in the set of symbols, or set of symbols, that is called tokens. See, so we'll see now one by one. First, what are identifiers? You know already identifiers, you are studied in the other languages. Identifiers are names. Identifiers are names which you are going to use for our user defined names, which are going to use in our program. For example, you can use the identifiers for names like class name, variable name, object name, method name, and the interface name, package name. All the names, whatever the names you are going to use in your program, those names are called identifiers. And if you are going to use any names for your program, the name should follow some rules. The identifier should follow some rules. What are the rules of identifiers? You know already the rules of identifiers. The identifiers always must start with the letter. Start with the letter. For example, see, example name. So the name is started with the letter N. The identifiers also can start with the underscore. So this is also valid. Then identifiers also can start with the dollar symbol. Then suppose if you want to use identifier name is too long, then it has to connect with the underscore. For example, see, first underscore name. So like that. Then identifiers also can contain set of letters, digits, and other this one dollar symbols. For example, you can also use like this, first 5 names, like that. So it can contain the number digits in between the identifier, but it cannot start with the number, but it can contains in the combination. So like this, these are the some valid identifiers. And what are the invalid identifiers? Identifiers cannot start with the number. For example, 5 name. So this is invalid. Identifiers cannot start with the number. Then identifiers cannot have space in between. For example, if I give first name. So this is also invalid because here I given the space. You should not have any space in between the identifier names. Then identifiers cannot use any special symbols. For example, first plus name. So here we are using some special characters like plus, so that cannot be used. Then identifiers cannot be used as the keywords. For example, case, or you cannot use super. These are all the some keywords. These keywords you cannot be used as your identifiers because these keywords have some special meaning. These names you cannot use as identifiers. Then see, identifiers cannot use any some special symbols like this. First name, so you cannot use ampersand and all. So these are the some invalid identifiers, these are some valid identifiers. Identifiers are names which you are going to use in your program for the any names like class name, variable name, object name, method name, interface name, package name, etc. All the names are called identifiers. While using identifiers in your program, you have to follow some rules. What are the rules? The identifiers must start with the letter, or identifier can start with underscore, or it can start with the dollar symbol. Identifiers, if you are using identifier names are too long, that should be connected with the underscore. And identifiers, it can also contain, the combination of, you can use digits and letters and also the dollar symbol. And what are the invalid identifiers? Identifiers cannot start with the number, identifiers cannot have any space in between, identifiers should not give any space, then identifiers cannot contain any special character like plus, minus, etc. Then you cannot use any reserved words, that is called keywords. You cannot use any keywords for the identifiers like case, super, this, etc. Then identifiers also cannot have any some other symbols like ampersand to all this and all. These are the identifiers. Then next, second one is keywords. Keywords are reserved words. Keywords are reserved words. So each keyword in the Java is having some special meaning to the compiler. So that keywords cannot be used as an identifier. See, keywords are reserved words. So each keyword is having some special meaning in the Java language, so that we cannot use the keywords as our identifiers. So there are some set of keywords are available in the Java. These keywords are classified based on the functionality. See, these are the list of keywords using in the Java. Data and declaration. See, what are the data and declaration parts? That means here byte, int, short, long, float, double, character, boolean. These are the data types or declarations. For declaration we are using. And next, modifiers and access. That means access specifiers or access modifiers. What are the different access modifiers? That is private, public, protected, static, void. So these are the some access modifiers or access specifiers which are going to use in the Java. Then loopings. Looping keyword, that means looping structures. While, do, for, continue, break. These are the looping statements. Then control statements. If, else, case, switch. Then exception. What are the exceptional keywords? So that is try, catch, throw, throws, finally. Then structures. If you want to define a structure in your program, what are the keywords you are using? Class, abstract, interface, import, implements, instance of. Then miscellaneous. What are the other keywords? Import, package, this, super, enum, etc. So these are the list of keywords we are going to use in the Java language. These keywords are classified based on the functionality. So these keywords we are going to use in the declaration part, that is also for defining the data types, and these keywords we are going to use in your access modifiers and access specifiers. When you are going to specify the access specifiers in your program, these keywords are using. And whenever you are going to write some looping structures, these keywords are using. Whenever you are going to write some control structures, these are the keywords you are using. Then whenever you are going to write some exception handling in your program, these are the keywords you are using. Then whenever you are going to define some structure in your program, class, abstract, interface, import, then implements, then instance of keywords are using. Then miscellaneous, these are the other keywords comes the miscellaneous, import, package, this, super, enum. So these are the list of keywords using in the Java language. These keywords are having some special meaning to the compiler. So these keywords you cannot use it for your user defined names, because each and every keyword is having some special meaning. Understood? Rest of this you have to use some user defined names except of this. Understood? These are the keywords. Next, come to the next next token is literals. So what is literal? Literals are constant in the Java programming language. Literals are constant. Literals are constant in the Java language. Constant means, constant means fixed values that cannot be changed during the program execution. Whatever you type, same thing you will get. For example, if I type A only you will get. If you type 5, you will get a 5 only. So that are the constant. Constants are fixed values that cannot be changed during the execution of the program. So whatever you will give, same thing you will get. That is the constant. So here the literals are in Java divided different types. So integer literals, floating point literals, then character literals, then Boolean literals, then string literals. So integer literals. Integer literals means the integer literals it will contain the rounded values. So which you are going to use with the different integer data types like byte, short, int, long. So using these data types you are going to define the integer literals. So byte, if you are going to define the small value, then we are going to define with the byte. Then short means the medium values you can define with short, and int and long we are going to define some of the long values. So even these while defining the literals, we can also given the particular type suffix. For example, byte. If you want to example for defining the byte, if you want to defining the byte, you can give like this. So 2 or 21B like that. Or you can also, for example, short 21 PS. Then if you want to define long, if you want to define the long value, suppose long, you can, if you give small l or capital L, capital or small l. So like that you can define the integer literals. So by giving the some suffix value at end. So L for long, okay, either you can use small l or capital L. Even the integers numbers, the integer literals can be defined with the different formats, that is called decimal. Decimal numbers means decimal will start 0 to 9, and octals, octal numbers will start from 0 to 7, then hexadecimal 0 to 7, hexadecimal. Hexadecimal will start from 0, it will start from 0x, small 0x or capital 0x with A to F. So that will be from 15 to 10 to 15, 10 to 15. 10 to 15 numbers can be defined with the characters A to F. So always hexadecimal start with the 0x or capital or small 0x or capital 0x, and the octal numbers contains 0 to 7, and decimal numbers contain 0 to 9 in between. So for example, octal you can give 0, 2, 3, 5 or 0, 1, 2, 7 like that, and decimal numbers these are 2, 3 or 7, 7, 3, 5 like that, and hexadecimal you can give 0x A, 0x to A. So like that you can give the hexadecimal numbers. So all these are called the what? Integer literals. Integer literals are rounded values which are going to define with the different formats. So that will be with the different data type, byte, short, int, long, and so these will be defined with the different format, that is decimal numbers, octal numbers, hexadecimal. Decimal numbers will contain 0 to 9, and octal will contain 0 to 7. These are the example, and hexadecimal is contains start with the capital 0x or small 0x with A to F. A to F means A means 10 and F means 15. So these are the example of hexadecimal numbers. And even that integer literals we can also define with the character at end, L for long. So this is long integer, a long integer literal. This is short integer literal S. So byte integer literal, like that we can define. These are the integer literals. Next, floating point literals. Floating point literals are contain both float as well as double. Floating point literals means it is a combination of float as well as double. So it is going to contain with the decimal point. The floating point literals are fraction numbers. It will going to contain with the decimal point. See, floating point. So the floating floats we are going to define with the suffix F, capital F or small f at the end, and double you can define with small d or capital D at the end with suffix. So example of floating point. See example of floating point. For example, 0.2f or 0.23f, or double 2.637d or 2.6789 capital T. So you can define D for double, F for float. So like that you can define the floating point. So even this floating point decimals you can also define by using the exponential form. Suppose if the number is too long, then you are going to define that number by using the exponential form, that is E for exponent, capital E or small e, For example, float I can define 2.3 E2. So that means This we can write like this: 2.3 into 10 to the power of 2. Exponential you can define with the exponent of 10. E, that is E, you can define with the exponent of 10. That means 2.3 into 10 to the power of t. That is here E for exponent of 10. So like that you can define exponential notation. Or so for example double I can give 6.3737 E minus 2. So this you can also write like this: 6.372 into 10 to the power of minus 2. So this will be equivalent to 6.372 into 10 to the power of minus 2. So that means E for exponent of 10. E for exponent of 10. So like that you can define. Suppose if you have any larger values, long values which contains float and double, that you can also define with the exponential notation. Exponential notation, that is capital E or small e, capital E or small e. So for example, this is the example for exponential form: 2.3e2. This you can also write 2.3 into 10 to the power of 2. Similarly 6.372e minus 2, this you can also write 6.372 into 10 to the power of minus 2. Okay, like that you can define. So even here also if you want to define D for double, here F for float, like that also you can give the suffix value. So this is floating point literals. Then come to the character literals. See, character literals are going to define with the single quotes. Character literals are comes under the data type char, so that will going to define with the single quotes. For example for character literals A, or this one, or 2. So like that you can define the character literals. Character literals are defined with the single quotes. This will comes under the data type char. These are the example for character literals. Then Boolean literals. See, Boolean literals comes under the data type Boolean. So there are two values you are going to use to define the Boolean literal, that is true or false. True or false. So the truth value can be represented by using the true, and the false value can be represented by using the false. True means 1 and false means 0. So like that you can define. So that is Boolean literals. Then string literals. String literals are literals which are going to contain the sequence of characters. The sequence of characters or the collection of characters are called string literals. String literals are going to represented by using the double quotes. For example, hello, or welcome. So these are the string literals. String literals comes under the data type string. So this will be represented by using the double quotes. For example, so string literals also contains the collection of characters, set of characters that will be represented by using the double quotes. This is string literals. Understood what is literals? Literals are constant in the Java programming. These literals are fixed values. It cannot be changed during the program execution. What are the different types of literals using in the Java? There are 5 types of literals: integer literals, floating point literals, character literals, Boolean literals, and string literals. Integer literals can be defined by using the 4 primitive data types of byte, int, byte short, int, long. Okay, and these values also can be defined with the suffix b, s, and l, like that. And these integer literals also can be defined with the different format: decimal format, octal format, hexadecimal format. Decimal numbers are contain 0 to 9, octal numbers are contain 0 to 7, hexadecimals are contain 0x. It will start with the 0x along with the letters A to F, that is 10 to 15. And I given the example for decimal, octal, and hexadecimal. Next, floating point literals. Floating point literals are fractional numbers that will going to contain the decimal point. So floating point literals contains both float as well as double. So that I given this is the floating point literals and this is the double literals. And suppose if having the number is too long, too big, that can be represented by using the exponential e for exponential, that is capital E or small e. So this is the example for exponential notation, 2.3e to f. F means this is float, and this we can also write like this: e exponential can be represented with the exponent of 10. Similarly here I given the 6.372e to e minus 2 d. D means double, so this also can be represented like this. Then similarly character literals are represented with the single quotes. It will come under the character data type. These are the examples. And boolean literals are literals which are comes under the boolean data type. So we using the two values, that is true and false. And string literals are literals which are the collection of characters or a set of characters called string literals. For example, it will be represented with the double quotes. So these are the three types of tokens we discussed today. In the next section we will see the other literals. Thank you.